cock knocker?
Yo, fuck nuts.
Shit break. I think your train's leaving.
Bro, what are we doing tonight? We getting hammered, you cock face?
I don't know, fuck nuts, but I guess it's time to record an episode of The Franchise.
Listen, dick breath, why don't you get off my back about recording this franchise shit? 'Cause I'm jerking off my big dick. I'm touching my big little wiener.
Finch's mom.
MILF.
That's right, everybody. We're back.
That's right, jizz skin.
Now we're into like rhetorical put downs that don't even make any sense. That was good. I like that. Oh, well, nutsacks. Welcome everybody to one episode. It is one episode.
This is definitely one episode of The Franchise.
Episode 189. Dan, we are closing in on 200
That's
episodes.
right. Anyone want us to celebrate that? Let us know how. Give us some ideas. Edit together a clip reel of our best material.
Wow. That's a Herculean undertaking, but that would be amazing.
Yep. H-Dog. Oh, that's Henry Papali over there in this fucking New Jersey. And I'm over here, the D-Train, Daniel Ehrenberg. And I am in Brooklyn, New York.
He is in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
He is in Brooklyn.
And I have the glasses to prove it.
Is the glasses and the professor sweater to do it? But he always wore those. Those aren't a new thing. It was just always a Dan look.
Yeah, but how about this fucking nerd shirt? Look at this.
I don't even know what that is.
Dr. Manhattan, baby.
Oh yeah. A couple more seconds I would have gotten that. Did you just get that? Is that you on the Watchmen train?
That's right, baby. Actually, someone got it for me for Christmas. It was like a late Christmas gift.
That's kind of cool.
Hell yeah.
So it's a
I'll wear it around the house.
Yeah, it's a not a public.
No, I'll wear it in public.
Sure you will.
Yeah,
You're in fucking Hipsterville. You can wear whatever the fuck you want, man.
H-Bomb, we're here in the throes of American Pie mania.
It's
William Anastasiou, he suggested this. He paid for it. Bought and sold, baby. And he's getting a lot of kudos on the old Twitter sphere. People are saying this is our best material yet.
Wow. Is that right?
That this is our best content to date.
The best content we've ever done. Wow. We have a lot of brilliant content, Dan.
So much top dollar content.
I mean, that's like high praise. Wow. That's like praising one of FDR's many programs and putting it above another one. That's tough. We're right up there with him, I'd say.
The Franchise, the New Deal.
That's right.
They sound right together.
One of his New Deal programs, The Franchise.
Yeah. H-Bomb, what do you want to talk about today? The last two American Pie movies?
No, but I think that's what we were paid to do, so let's do that.
I'm ready. I have a lot to say about these, and I may or may not have been on board with one of these movies.
Okay. Well, we also, at the end of the show, are going to have our ultimate 8 movie rankings of these.
I made my rankings. I wrote them down for once.
Whoa. Special evening. All right. Yeah.
I have strong opinions about this ranking. I'm making hand gestures just for the podcast, Henry.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
American Pie presents The Book of Love, the penultimate, for now, American Pie film.
Right.
Now, we have a new director, new writer, new cast, okay? We're looking at director John Putch.
John Putch.
That's right. Got his start as an actor, failed, decided to get into directing, succeeded admirably.
Yeah.
Got to
looking.
start directing some kids stuff. Big Bad Beetleborgs. I watched every ep growing up, Henry. No joke. He directed this, of course, and then it's been mostly TV. One Beethoven Christmas movie that I didn't know existed.
There you go.
And tons of Cougar Town, Henry.
Listen, he's a worker. He's a worker.
This guy, if you've seen some Cougar Town, chances are you've seen this guy's handiwork.
Well, we saw his handiwork on this podcast long ago, many galaxies ago, when we covered Jaws, because he played Sean Brody in Jaws 3D.
No.
I'm looking at it now.
The
One of the Brody
director,
kids.
John Putch, in his acting career, was John Brody in Jaws 3D?
Jaws 3D, 1983. He was
Okay,
Sean
so
Brody.
there was like Dennis Quaid and the other guy. He's the
Right.
other guy.
Well, he was born in 61, so he would have been 22. So he was like, I don't even remember. There was another guy?
There was
remember
another
that?
guy. There was a boring guy.
Well, it was Roy Scheider's, that's his son, Sean Brody. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, we were
Wow.
following the Brody family through all of these
We did.
films.
We did. Like the shark. We followed them everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even to the Bahamas.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, Henry. Okay. So that's Putch for you.
Yeah.
We've got a new writer, David H. Steinberg, a Jew.
Steinberg. Right.
He of course has a previous credit on the American Pie franchise. I didn't even mention it on the episode. He has a story credit on American Pie 2.
Okay, yeah.
But he went on to write mostly shitty sex comedies, including Slackers, which is watchable because of the cast.
Okay.
Barely Legal. That's a movie.
National Lampoon's Barely Legal.
Ooh, and late in life, after this movie, he became one of these sequel experts that we're learning about. So he wrote Kindergarten Cop 2
Okay.
with Dolph Lundgren.
Sure.
He wrote Bigger, Fatter Liar.
Oh, God, right.
You remember
yeah,
Big Fat Liar? This is
Yes.
Bigger, Fatter Liar. And
Wow,
it looks
that's a
like
good
we've got
credit.
Barry Bostwick in the Giamatti role.
I like that. Yeah.
It's
very
not bad. Well, totally different body type, but I guess that's fine. And looks like Granddaddy Daycare, which I didn't know about. We should definitely do that.
Oh my God. I didn't know any of these existed.
I know.
Maybe Kindergarten Cop 2.
Yeah, we knew about that one. But yeah, this one, and it looks like George Wendt and Danny Trejo are involved. Hey, and Barry Bostwick. I guess they're buds.
What did we cover Barry Bostwick in?
Probably something. I think I remember giving him like an MVP.
Yes. We definitely covered him. All right.
We'll cover him again when we do the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I love
you're
that
right.
movie.
Yeah, it's great. Great movie.
Great movie. Henry, this came out December 22nd, 2009. We're going with these late December releases on these.
Yeah.
Is this a 2-year wait? We had been doing them every year, but I think we got a 2-year wait here.
Yeah, this is the first one with the DVDs ones that there's like a pause.
Yeah.
Yes. So, December 22nd, 2009, straight to DVD. We're both working at the store. We must have shelved this.
I certainly did. I remember when it came out thinking, oh, they're still making these.
Did you watch it when it came out?
No. I never even considered watching any of the ones past Bandcamp. Although this one I was intrigued by because the title led me to believe that it was about that book from the first one.
Yes.
And it turns out I was right.
You were.
Yeah.
You were indeed. Yes.
The budget for this was $7 million.
A lot of money.
That is too much money to make this piece of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, not to give out my opinion so quickly. But this was offensively poor.
That it was.
Okay, box office $5 million. I mean sales $5 million.
That's a lot of sales, man.
Yeah, but it's under the budget, so that's why they stopped making these.
Yeah. Well, you don't. You shouldn't be spending $7 million on a DVD.
You certainly shouldn't.
No,
I
they
mean,
could
the
put it
people
out
are
in
just
theaters for
buying
that.
this to jerk off to. Ultimately, you could spend $500,000 on this.
Just put it out.
I promise you, you don't need Rosanna Arquette in this movie.
Nah, could have got somebody else.
You could have gotten any Canadian in that role.
Any Canadian who starred in Smallville would have definitely been up for this. You know, for $7 million, just you put it out in the box office. What are you going to lose? $2 million? That's what they lost.
That's
anyway.
actually a great point. You know, I honestly believe that they left money on the table in this franchise.
You think so? Oh, I see what you're saying.
Not only on these DVD ones, but if I may skip ahead to Reunion for a second, that movie was made for $50 million, which is too much. But the box office, Henry, was $235 million. Okay?
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they never made another one of these?
For 2012 and a comedy, regardless, that's a shitload of a box office return.
I think this was from a weird year where there were still expectations for bigger business. And, like, if they kept making these movies, cut the budget by half, made them for $25 million each time.
Yeah.
And if these made even $120 million each.
Yeah. Why?
You've got yourself a franchise.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts.
You know why? Because only $57 million domestic. So much that was worldwide. But who gives a fuck?
Yeah, it's money's money, man.
Yeah,
it's true.
I don't care if it comes in euros.
Yeah, right.
Or yen.
Appreciated lira.
Or my friend the peso.
Or this.
No.
I have to say rubles. Rubles come in rubles.
All right, yeah, you can make fun of those assholes.
Oh yeah, who'd you think I was gonna do?
I felt an Asian voice coming.
Yes, the only unacceptable impression. I know. It's all right. It's true.
Stop it.
Someday it'll be all right.
Oh, you know what? Henry, I wrote a note to myself, and it's going to come in handy.
Okay.
It says, look up the writer. So if I may school you on this guy, David H. Steinberg.
I'm going to look him up with you. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, keep in mind, this is the guy who wrote the movie American Pie Presents The Book of Love.
Okay.
Keep that in mind. This is his biography on IMDb.
All right.
David H. Steinberg grew up in West Hartford, Connecticut, entered Yale at age 16.
Jesus Christ.
And earned his law degree from Duke University, where he served as editor-in-chief of the Law Review.
My God.
After 4 years of entertainment law in Atlanta and New York, he abandoned his legal career to attend USC's Peter Stark producing program and ended up writing American Pie Presents The Book of Love, Kindergarten Cop 2, Granddaddy Daycare, and what was the other dumb shit? Bigger, Fatter, Liar.
Wow. So this is not a dumb man.
And listen to this other fact. He is the great-grandson of Max Planck, the founder of quantum theory.
Well, those are. I'm not gonna lie here. Those are some of the most mind-blowing facts that have ever been said on this show.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy. That he's like almost seems like he could be a certifiable genius.
Yeah.
If you test his IQ.
Duke, definitely.
Yale, 16.
FYI, he definitely voted for Trump.
Yeah, he wants a tax cut, sure.
It's from Connecticut.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. He's one of those MAGA Connecticut repubs.
Yeah. Okay, Henry. Let's talk about it. Book of Love. We are introduced to our main character, Rob.
Rob, good name.
Great name for a great man.
Yeah.
And
Not the least charismatic protagonist.
certainly
we've had,
not. Certainly not.
But one of them,
One of the most useless.
right? I mean, again, some interchangeable people.
You know who
but,
plays this guy?
I mean, I did. I had written it down. Who?
His name is Bug Hall.
Yes, Bug Hall. Right. All right. It's a good one.
Now, I'm familiar with him. He, as a child, played Alfalfa in the Little Rascals movie.
Oh, that he did. Wow. Unseen by me. But okay. And he
Seen
played
many times by me.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And he was Buster Stupid in The Stupids.
Oh, seen twice by me.
Jesus, dude. Wow.
You seemed disappointed in me just now.
Tad. You know, he's been in a lot of those type of things. He was in Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves, and
He must have replaced one of the kids from the theatrical ones.
yeah, they got
Oh, we gotta do those.
Yeah, the Rick Moranis time, man.
Yeah,
Rick Moranis.
maybe after the Patreon thing.
But, you know, a little genre change would be nice. Yeah.
All right, you're sick of comedy?
It's been a little exhausting, but no, we got to do them because I definitely want to do them. But
okay,
so
Alfalfa, aka Rob, aka Bug Hall, he is obviously opening up his computer to look at some sweet porn. Yes, please. And he's jerking off his dick, okay? And he's talking back to the computer. I've noticed that in any movie, if somebody's watching porn, and the woman says like, "Ooh, that feels good," the guy goes, "You better believe it feels good, baby."
Yeah, it's odd. You're right. In Jason Biggs is one for that.
Yeah,
in
every Reunion.
Movie.
Yeah, and probably everything he's ever been in.
Yeah, but like that's an interesting observation. It occurred to me in Reunion, but I guess this idiot does it too. But this is when he takes a peanut butter sandwich, correct?
See, he finds his own jerking off of his dick not pleasurable enough.
It's not sufficient.
So he pulls out his peanut butter sandwich, and that seems to go well for him. He's enjoying himself.
I looked away.
I didn't. I watched him fuck the sandwich, and then his dog comes in and presumably starts sucking his dick or something.
I don't know what act the dog was performing.
He appeared to be sucking his dick, and then all of a sudden he turns around. His little brother's filming the whole thing. Record scratch, Nickelback song.
Yeah, I like that in these movies, these life-ruining events happen to the protagonist but they're really they don't ruin anything. Someone just gets teased for a while and then it's forgotten.
Why would this be a life-ruining event?
Well, first of all, psychologically, I didn't, if you're...
I would have owned that in high school. Like, if that was my rep, the guy who fucked a sandwich... Fine.
No. The dog.
Oh, that's right. I guess he's filmed committing bestiality. You're right.
Talking about the sandwich. I mean, he's going to have PTSD from the dog experience, and then his fucking shit ass little brother films everything he does.
I kind of like the little brother. He reminds me of like a John Hughes little brother.
He is very John Hughesy, but that's what I mean. Like he streams this. It would ruin somebody's life. It would go with you everywhere in today's day and age, and it don't. It's over. But
yeah, you're right. Actually, the next day, like that hot girl comes up to him, and she's like, "Saw the video, weirdo," or like
unfazed. Yeah,
completely unfazed. Now, who's this girl?
You tell me. Is this
Heidi? She's the Two Broke Girl. She's the Two Broke Girls?
Yeah.
One of them's Kat Dennings, the other one's this one.
Yeah, I thought she was pretty good in this.
She's fine.
Yeah, she's acceptable.
Beth Beers. I think she's not as good as Ariel Kebbel but probably better than what we had in the last movie.
Right. I mean, I do have a tough time with the MVP because I do want to pick. I kind of am leaning towards the actress that I've seen in fucking 3 other movies who shares my last name and a derivation of it.
Oh, I have no idea who you're talking about.
We'll get there.
I'm excited to get there.
Very weird.
Okay, so we can talk about that. He's in school. He's got this girl who is he tutoring her, or are they study buddies? They're like lab partners or something.
It's hard to kind of decipher. I mean, they just see he has a crush on her, right? I mean, that's essentially it.
And we find out later that she has a crush on him too.
Yeah, and she has like some of the most misleading dialogue ever. I mean, I didn't even have to write it down.
She's not a person. You know, I noticed this when we got to American Reunion, and like something felt different about that movie, and I was trying to figure out what it was beyond being like just a competently made, like well-staged movie. And the thing I realized is that the girls in the movie are acting like human beings.
True. With Tara Reid accepted. Yes.
You're FYI? Yes. But fucking this movie, and I think pretty much all the other straight-to-video ones, like every female character, with zero exceptions, even the love interest, are just like either like a piece of ass who like cannot wait to get fucked at any turn, or like a sweet girl that you wouldn't want to like sully in any way.
Right.
You wouldn't want to taint her by touching her with your penis.
No, and they're just essentially sounding boards for any dialogue the men have. That's all they are. They're just like a fucking ear.
And they never look normal. Like I'm looking at Allison Hannigan in American Reunion, and it's like she's got freckles and she's got skin imperfections and she's got a little bit of acne. She's still like beautiful, but
right.
Like but
I know what you mean.
Everybody in these movies is just fucking model skinny and tanned, like overly tanned, using like fucking chicken embryos or something, and. I mean, their hair. Like, there's one scene in Book of Love where it's just like 3 tan blonde women making out, and I'm like, you couldn't have made like one of them pale, or one of them a brunette, or one of them short.
And that trio makes several appearances in fantasy garb of the great character Lube. In his Josh Gad appearance.
I knew him from South Park.
Oh, really?
There's one weird episode of South Park where all the boys become like live action for a little bit, and he was Cartman.
Really?
Yeah, Lube. He's played Lube and Cartman.
Well, it's a legacy I'm not going to live with.
And
here.
You know what? All that fantasy shit that he's having in this movie is, I think, a direct result of this director, John Putch, working with Bill Lawrence on TV. Because he directed a bunch of episodes of Cougar Town, which was the follow-up show from the guy who did Scrubs. And he also directed 8 episodes of Scrubs.
And that show has a lot of that stuff in
That's what that show is. It's just like, you know... like Zach Braff like imagines something and then it cuts back to him like staring up at the sky and someone like hits him, you know.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
That's all it is. It's American Pie presents Scrubs bullshit.
Putch and Lube.
Sure. What's worse?
Putch and Lube.
Who would you rather be, Putch or Lube?
I mean, Putch seems kind of like at least he was in Jaws 3D.
I guess. You can always say that. I was in the worst Jaws movie.
Yeah.
And for those of you who want to say Revenge is the worst, we rewatched those movies and fucking 3D is the worst.
Absolutely. Revenge has got some stuff going for it.
Yeah, good cinematography.
Good cinematography, good location, and of course, Michael Caine.
Of course. So I was pretty bummed out when Stiffler showed up. I thought we might go Stiffler-less in this one.
Yeah, and it's a poor.
It's the
poor
worst
choice.
Stifler yet,
He's
man.
the worst Stiffler, and there's been a lot because
And
we've had we haven't just had one in every movie. We've had a relative plus a Stiffler usually.
Great
This
point.
is the
Great
worst
point.
worst Stiffler. Yep.
I couldn't agree more, Henry. This was a very poor Stifler, and I think it's because they decided to go back to making Stifler the villain in this movie.
I think you're right.
He's been a sympathetic character in previous movies. So in this movie, they're trying to make him a heavy, so you're not supposed to like him. And what ends up happening is we don't like him.
We don't like him. It's annoying when he's on screen. The actor sucks.
You need an actor like Sean William Scott who brings a brevity to the evil.
That's right. That's right. Who has funny facial expressions, who knows how to deliver a line, who has comic timing.
Who says cock with the confidence of a champion.
That's right. Someone who can say fuck nuts and still make you giggle and still make you laugh. After
he can say cock breath and you believe it.
He can say, what the fuck are you pussies doing? We're going to do some fucking shots. And you're still like, yeah, Stiffler. That's right.
He can say, hey, homo anus, and you don't immediately hate him.
That's right. That's right. So it's a thin line that Stiffler walks, and there's only one Stiffler, folks, out of the 20 we've covered, and that is Sean William Scott.
You better believe it. All right, who's the second best Stiffler?
Well, I guess it would really come to the guy in band camp, right? Tad
Hilgenbrink.
And then
it might be him.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, because then the one after that,
it's Slim Pickens, man.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the little brother on one of them maybe even beats that guy.
Maybe,
like a Stifler.
There's Eric Stifler from the last two.
Oh, he was lame. Yeah, that was the good Stifler.
Yeah, and then there's Dwayne Stifler, the Ryan Reynolds Stifler.
Right.
Dwayne?
Tried.
Was that his name?
Close enough. I know who you mean. He really tried.
He tried very hard at every moment. H-Dog, this Stifler comes in, and the first thing he does is make a joke about his dick, and he calls it a flute skin. And I'm sorry, the correct term is skin flute. He can't even do that right.
You're right. You are correct. I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
He fucked that line up, and they just left it in.
Oh, wow. Well, he didn't look too bright. He literally looked like a meathead. Like it's like a lot of these guys in here portray meatheads, but you kind of, some of them you can see through that, and you're like, oh, they're probably smart guys just delivering dumb lines. This guy looks like he's probably pretty stupid in real
You
life.
never know. It could be the performance of a lifetime. He might be like some theater brat from New York.
He just got done filming a off Broadway of Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yeah. He's doing Balanchine.
Yeah. I'm sorry, everybody. I have to go to set. We're doing a DVD. It's $7 million DVD.
Yeah, this is a big role for me. I'm playing a Stifler.
I'll meet you guys later at Sardi's.
Guys, you know, the Stiflers are some of the most sought after roles in modern art.
Apparently. You ever been to Sardi's?
No, of course not.
I have.
All right, how was that for you?
Pretty cool, actually. Many years before I lived in New York. It was very cool. So you should go there.
All right.
Yeah. You feel like you step back in time.
Do I?
Three skidoo. Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, Henry.
All right. Anyway.
What do we got? Rosanna Arquette's the mom. George Jefferson is a priest.
George Jefferson. Oh boy,
I guess we should talk about some of the other characters. So that scene is his friend. There's one boring friend in every one of these movies.
Correct.
And this is him in this one.
And it's not Lube, even though I hated him.
No. Lube is fat and doing imagining stuff. Right. This guy has no character traits whatsoever. He just wants to get laid.
Correct. I believe is that Nathan?
This is Nathan.
Yeah.
He has maybe an Indian girlfriend.
Good call.
Okay.
Yeah. I watched this movie yesterday, and it feels like I watched it 10 years ago.
No, I remember everything. The actress's name is Melanie Papalia. Oh, that's your girl.
Melanie Papalia. Yeah, she's not Indian. She's Italian.
Okay. Okay. She just looked ethnic to me. I took a shot.
Right. No, it was good. I have seen this girl in 3 movies. It's
Henry.
crazy. What the fuck? Yeah, I watched her.
I bet none of them are real movies.
One of them is a movie that you love and was on your 101 best movies of the decade. 2 of the other ones you've never heard of. So I saw her in 3 consecutive movies.
Say the titles.
So one of those movies that I saw her in
I hate you.
was called a really bad movie. I actually didn't make it through the movie. I turned it off. But it looked like a promising shitty movie called The Den. Like a
All
shitty.
Right. He tried to get through it, Melanie.
Yeah,
he did his best.
Real bad. Then a really good fucking lo-fi horror movie called Extraterrestrial. And that shit was very cool. The Vicious Brothers directed that. I knew you'd like them.
The Vicious Brothers?
Yeah, I did. We've talked about them before. They're like a lower budget version of the who are the guys who did From Hell?
The Hughes Brothers.
Yeah, they're better.
So what,
Vicious
they're black?
Brothers.
That's why you're comparing them?
So they're brothers, that's all.
Okay.
Brothers. They're lower Phi Cohen brothers. No. But Extraterrestrial was cool. And then she was in Hell or High Water.
All right.
All right. No, but I'm looking at her filmography. I'm like,
Henry,
I
what
don't
do you
know
want me to do about this? Do you want me to try to find her on Twitter and slide into her DMs for you?
No, not really. It's not like I have a thing or anything.
Seems like you do.
No, I just share a similar name, and I was surprised that I'd seen her before in 3 movies. It's fucking crazy because I don't know this woman from anything.
Well, you'll never forget her again.
It's possible I will.
All right, so she's Christian, and she's taken a Christian vow of celibacy. This was a popular thing around this time because of the Jonas Brothers.
Oh.
You remember?
Educate me, my young son.
They wore celibacy bracelets. So it was becoming a thing in the teen community that they would take vows of celibacy to stay celibate till marriage.
Fuck's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Joe Bros, I think, all broke this. They ended up
Obviously.
fucking baby.
Obviously.
Yeah, this was a fad at the time, like Livestrong bracelets. Or, fidget spinners.
Yeah. Fidget spinners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
So
Okay.
that was exciting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, very strange. And then, but she took the celibacy vow, I believe, after she has slept with 6 individuals already, correct? Remember, her boyfriend, Bug, keeps telling her that over and over again.
Her boyfriend's not Bug. Her boyfriend's Nathan.
You're right.
Because
she's with Heidi. Bug is with Heidi.
Yeah,
right,
Nathan
right.
goes to church to try and find her, and George Jefferson is the priest in his final screen appearance. And they press a thing so that the audience in the church, the congregation,
look at you.
Yeah.
That's right.
Can hear what they're saying, and it's all like, "Yo, but you can't even suck my cock."
Yeah, it was really good. Something about anal is slipped in there. We get reaction shots from the audience. Really well edited. Very funny. We get the poor Sherman Helmsley in his last role getting to say "fuck it" as his last line.
He's highly, by the way, he has high ranking. What do they call it? Billing. Fucking hell.
Well, sure. I mean, he's a fucking legend.
But he's in this only. This is only scene.
Yeah, I know. I thought when I saw him in the credits, I was thinking like, oh, you know what?
I thought he was gonna come back later and give advice or something.
Yeah, I know. I could have used that. This movie could have used that. I would have liked to seen him. Yeah, George Jefferson, 227, legend.
Okay, so what happens next, Henry? There's a big party. Or it's like a school dance, I guess.
Right.
And they Bug Hall walks in on the girl he likes making out with somebody, and he freaks out, and it ends up starting a fire, and the library gets set on fire.
Well, right. It's what happens, I guess, is it's Bug and Heidi have this. What I meant with the meaningless dialogue was like Heidi says, "Yes, we should do it, or I should have sex," and he's like, "Right," and she goes, "In the library," and he goes, "Right," but she didn't mean sex with him. She just meant sex in the library with somebody. So he walks in expecting to meet her to do this, and much to his chagrin, I believe it's Stiffler that is getting it on with her.
Who could care?
Right, because it's not even like a Stiffler. It's just like some guy named Stiffler. It doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, I didn't even write down what his first name is. Everyone's just calling him Stiffler.
Nobody cared to think of one. There's too many. The Stiffler family tree is too complicated to figure out, as we learned a week or so ago. And we also get sort of a weird thing that goes nowhere that I kind of wanted to go somewhere to hold on to something. We get Curtis Armstrong, our beloved
Booger.
Yeah, our beloved guy, kind of has like what I thought was going to be something with the principal, and then it sort of turns into nothing.
Oh, that's right. He has like a crush on the principal, and he takes pictures of her butt, and it just never goes anywhere.
It's like, give Booger some, especially after that story you told me about him on Risky Business. I was like,
hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He's a hero. They find the Book of Love, Henry, which is the Bible, as they called it in the first American Pie movie. Now, this is the book that taught young Kevin how to eat Tara Reid's pussy.
Correct. That's right.
Yeah.
We
saw a page of the book, the tongue tornado.
Mm-hmm.
And that comes back here. So they in the fire, and they're cleaning up the library. They find the book, and he thinks it's great. He starts to use the advice from the book. He tells his friends, "We can learn from this book and become master lovers." And his friends are like, "Yes, great idea.
Yeah,
let's do it. Let's use all the advice." And why would anybody be interested in this? This is a piece of trash.
It's true. It's a piece of trash. They can't read it. It's 50 years old, literally. And when you find out who wrote it, that's when the movie...
Listen, we'll get to that. I have a lot to say.
Okay,
so
wow.
First they're taking some of the advice. One of the advices involves them talking to a girl in a Victoria's Secret. It ends up with them going into he goes into the changing room with her. She changes right in front of him, shoves some lingerie down his pants for him to steal, gets topless, of course. I was very interested in the story of why this 16-year-old girl had fake breasts. But we never learned.
It's 16?
How old are they supposed to be? They're in high school.
Yeah, okay.
17 tops.
She's 24.
She's a fucking high school girl in suburban Michigan. Why does she have breast implants?
Well, they're in suburban Michigan. I don't know what goes on there. Yeah. So she puts her panties in his crotch, and then I believe he reaches climax and walks out. Yes, because he walks out of the changing room. Remember, he makes the silly faces that all American Pie actors do.
That's right, yeah. Anytime anyone comes in the American Pie universe, they're just,
and he walks out.
Oh my God, I'm coming!
Yeah, they're like a Victorian seamstress every time they go, "Oh my word! Goodness me, the Queen is here."
No one ever says anything witty or no one ever just looks like they're enjoying it. It's just like this, "I'm gonna blow."
Right. It's always a surprise. Like they never feel it happening. It's just always a shock.
Except for
And
Jason Biggs when he prematurely came because he got to do that whole like, oh.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, no, it's usually just like they look like what's his fucking name? Slim Pickens riding the nuke bomb in Doctor Strangelove or some shit. It's like Jesus Christ. But yeah, he walks out of the changing room. We get to see a real nice shot of they great use of perspective, good camera work.
Perspective.
His
Come back.
that was not fair. That was a great joke for Dan and me, I guess.
Yup, just for us. All right, keep going.
So he has a perspective of his hard dick, and in the background, what is that? What's the Orson Welles? He invented that shot. What is that?
What?
The up close you see. In
Oh,
the
where
background.
something's faded and it switches back and forth.
Yeah,
between
but that's
them.
a very weird. Don't let's not be idiots. What's that called?
I don't know what it's called.
Oh my God. All right, whatever. I'll think of it. All right.
Sorry.
No, I'm just.
Why
surprised
don't you watch your fucking film worker documentary again? That's a reference for the Patreon people.
That's right. $5, you'll get the joke.
Worth every cent.
Yeah, $5. Listen to a 2.5-hour episode, but you'll understand the joke. Anyway, he walks out of there. The cashier pulls the panties out, he hands them to her, and then she's holding his semen drenched panties. Charges him for it.
$150.
It's lingerie. It's expensive. I mean, that I understood that. That's where I buy all my lingerie. But anyway, yeah, there's nothing I was gonna say. It's just a ridiculous fucking scene.
Okay, let's talk about them going to Canada.
That girl, by the way, just what a shit thing to do.
Oh my
right?
God, to go off and blow Stiffler after that?
And he literally says to her, "Hey, I'm horny. Want to suck me off?" She's like, "Okay."
But that's exactly what I'm talking about, Henry. That's what women are in these movies. All it takes to seduce, like these guys are going about it all the wrong way. Why are they studying this book? All they need to do to get a woman in this movie is to go up to them and say, "Hey, babe, do you want to suck me off?"
Right. So they go through different incarnations of that, though, right? Don't they do address that they should be assholes, they should be lovable?
Yeah, but they're always just like fumfering and tripping over themselves.
They are fumfering, a lot of fumfering going on.
Yeah,
a lot of foisting.
Yes. So they find an address in the book for a whorehouse in Canada, and they're like, "Let's go fuck."
Oh. Man, yeah, right.
Now, first they're stopped at the border, and we got a great cameo.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known this unless I had looked. I saw all the cameo appearances.
I recognize them, baby.
Yeah, I feel like maybe at the time this fucking idiot was in the news so much, I might have recognized him. But yeah, Dan is doing a dance right now.
K-Fed, baby, Kevin Federline.
Good actor, delivers his line almost without fucking it up.
I like that he has one line, and on the gag reel. Did you watch the gag reel at the end of the movie?
Yeah, actually, I did.
He says he asks for clarification on the wording in that line.
He's on coke, I'm sure, something like that. Yeah.
Coke, I think he'd remember it if he was on coke.
That's a good point.
Must have been a downer.
Yeah, he'd be super sharp.
Yeah. So K-Fed's doing this. I love K-Fed. If you haven't seen it yet, one of my favorite YouTube clips of all time comes to us from the Teen Choice Awards, Henry. You've got hosts Jessica Simpson and Dane Cook come out.
Okay, good.
All right. They say some very funny jokes.
Yeah.
Then they introduce somebody. It's Britney Spears. Okay. She comes out drunk with black hair. She's not there to do anything. She
Oh no.
just sort of rambles for a minute and
Oh,
then introduces her husband, who she refers to as K-Fed.
oh no.
And then Kevin Federline comes out and performs a rap song, and he has a black hype man going like K-Fed. Like,
Oh my God. You know, that I feel embarrassed right now. Like that made me embarrassed. I can't imagine what it's like to watch that. I'm embarrassed. Brittany,
oh, she's
how's
doing
she
okay.
doing?
She's
How's
doing
she
fine
doing?
these days.
Good.
She posts a
Good.
lot of inspirational quotes on Instagram,
Oh, that's great.
and she looks fine. And she's married to like I think just like a normal guy.
Like a banker. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
A dog walker.
Yeah, a dog walker.
The
I married my dog walker.
I just loved Orange Julius, and I love the guy who served me, so he works Orange Julius. He works Cinnabon sometimes.
And I love the guy who served me, so he worked Orange Julius.
Oops, he did it again.
Oh, that's a song. Henry, what happens next? They go to Canada. They go to the whorehouse. There's a bunch of, like, weird-looking women with fake breasts. I think they're supposed to be hot.
We get some more hallucinations by Lube.
Which is just an excuse to watch ladies make out.
Yes, it is. And then we are introduced to the Canadian-French Madame.
Monique.
And that's just...
It's some old lady, and this is her only screen credit. And I really want to know the story of how she got this job.
Wow. Wow. Was she like a caterer on like Lois and Clark or something? And they
no
just
fucking idea.
Wow.
So she's the whore. It turns out that the entry in the Book of Love, which was faded, was actually written in like 1975.
Right. Before
when
she had
this woman already would have been 60.
Right. But yeah, before she had a very bad case of spina bifida.
So Bug Hall goes in there first. She, of course, takes out her teeth.
I knew that was coming, by the way. You knew that was happening,
Of
right?
course, yeah. Then I was waiting for it. I was actually like sitting there like, okay, show me the teeth.
Right.
And then she sucked his dick. At first, he seems to be enjoying it.
Yeah, he starts to have the American Pie reaction.
Oh, that's right. He's like, oh. And then she dies.
Right. With lockjaw on his genitals.
But yeah, she dies on his dick. It's like really just sad and not funny and really gross because she's on there for kind of a while.
Yeah, and then they try to
like
rip
he'd
her
be
body
traumatized
off.
for life. He was inside. His cock was inside of a dead woman's head for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, and it's not Ed Kemper, so it's not exactly like something he enjoyed, I would think.
Oh, right, Ed Kemper. Got it. Bill Tench.
Thank you.
Okay.
They rip her body off it. Like she's literally like horizontally suspended at one point.
It is something out of a fucking horror movie, man.
Oh my God.
It reminded me of that scene in The Faculty where there's a really old woman who like walks into the shower and she's like collapsing and she's like, and then
I don't remember
he
that.
He touches her head. Elijah Wood touches her head and her hair starts to come up.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Or like that scene in The Shining when Nicholson's making out with that girl in the bath and she starts to decompose.
Sure. Probably what my thing's ripping off.
Probably, but it's Kubrick.
Yeah. So anyway, they leave the whorehouse. My whole question during this entire scene is there's naked women walking around all over the place of this whorehouse.
I know.
Everywhere. And this Monique woman walks out and like, why didn't they just turn around and go like, no, we wanted to fuck someone more our age?
The only explanation that popped into my head at the time, and I was ashamed of myself that the brain power was even exerted, was that in this particular whorehouse, it was some sort of a rite of passage that you had to do it with Monique, or it was in the Book of Love that she was you had to go with her.
Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe because they said at the door when they were
And
like,
she's right.
but once
And
you're in there, like,
yeah.
why? No one's sane in these movies. You would just turn around and say, like, let's be real. I mean, that's a 90-year-old woman. I'm 18. I'm of age. And, like, can I just fuck, like, an 18-year-old?
Right. Yeah.
I would like to lose my virginity. Can I give you, like, a range? Like, I'll fuck anyone up to 50.
There you go.
All right? I'm
Yeah.
being pretty lenient with you. I think so.
Right. Or if it's like
I shouldn't have to lose my fucking virginity to the Crypt Keeper.
No. And if it's like if she looks like Sophia Loren, I'll go as high as 62.
Yeah.
He paused, leaned back, thought about it, adjusted his glasses, and said, "Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
He thought about it. Like Sophia Loren, sure. Yeah.
All right, so next there's a party at Stiffler's house, and he's going to hook up with the two broke girl, and she hears him. It's like exactly the thing from the first American Pie movie where Kevin goes like, I'm sick of this blowjob bullshit. I need to get laid.
Right.
So she hears that, and then she goes off. She's mad at him, and she starts to make out with Stiffler, and then he sees her doing that, and he hooks up with some goth girl, and then he vomits on her back. And we're back to by the way, we're back to chunky vomit after the watery vomit of the last
That's
movie.
good point. A change in vomitous excretion. And that was actually when obviously all these movies are very exploitative of women. But for some reason, certain scenes get me more than others. And that one you're talking about felt really creepy to me.
Oh, a woman getting fucked from behind and then vomited on? Yeah.
Well, it's happened before.
But if you saw that in a porno,
naked,
you would think this is dark.
Right. Exactly. Well, yeah, it's fucked up. And it's in this movie, and it's like she's in this movie, she's seemingly kind of normal. She goes upstairs. They make her take off all her clothes. Then they flip her over. She says, like, do me from behind, doggy style. That's how you like it. She has a tramp stamp.
Right. She says, I thought you like it doggy style, because she's seen the video of him getting his dick sucked by a dog, and she still wants to fuck him.
She's gonna contract some horrible bestial virus, and then he has to look at her tramp stamp, and then he sees it morph into, like, I can't remember what it says. What does it say? What are you doing? Isn't it say what are you doing?
Right, but then it morphs into the two broke girls' face.
Right,
and she starts talking to him. It reminded me of that scene in Election where he's fucking his wife, and all of a sudden he like pictures Tracy Flick going like, "Do me, Jim."
Oh, Christ.
Do me, Mr. McAllister.
Mr. McAllister, yeah. No, but like I don't know, that one just there was something even before the vomit where it just like I'm just like, oh god, maybe I was just so done with the disrobing and all this shit, and I'm just like, God, another one.
I just think about the sets. Like,
yeah, that's what I guess I'm thinking. Yeah,
I'm thinking it's cold, it's dry, There's like one thing in the gag reel where like it's a girl performing a blowjob scene, and she makes a joke like, I was like 2 centimeters away from that thing, and I'm thinking like, ew.
No, he's going down on my cousin Melanie Papali.
Oh, that's right, and she says you're like a centimeter away from the full Monty there or something.
I'm like, geez, really? I thought this was acting. You don't have to get anywhere near that shit. Jesus Christ. I don't know.
It's weird.
It's weird.
All right, so
it's getting deep here. It's getting deep.
So this is them at their worst. They decide that they need to reconstruct the book. Or that's what's going to teach them how to be smart men, is reconstructing the book in its entirety. So they find out who wrote it. And it seems that it was started by a fella named Noah Levinstein.
He's back, folks. Here we go again.
Eugene
Yeah.
Levy. Now, I'm blown away by the fact that he wrote this. I would say the only positive to come out of this entire scenario is we find out where Eugene Levy works, and it's great.
It makes sense. It makes sense. That's a good point. When they showed where he worked, I was trying to remember if we had ever known that before.
Never. We've talked about how we never knew that.
Oh, okay. And they never reference it or anything.
I don't think so. So it's a carpet warehouse.
Sure, metaphorical.
And he's driving around in a little Humvee, and it's carpeted. I enjoyed that.
It reminded me of the van in Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, it was like that. So they show him the book, and he's like, obviously remember this, best time of my life, back when I was a weird scumbag, and right. I'm going to help you reconstruct this book. In fact, let's go through the library card and call everybody who previously took the book out. My question is, Henry, library card? People are legally taking this book out of the... I thought it's hidden underneath one of the stacks.
Right. It's a secret. It's a secret. Nobody checked this book out. It's very odd. Very odd. A poor writing and lazy decision for the joke. And we get to see all the people whom I only recognized 3 of them.
Oh, interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 I recognized.
All right, I'll tell you who I recognized since you recognized more. I recognized.
By the way, these are the people that worked on the book. We see them all in a montage. They reconstruct the book in like a week, when in actuality it would have taken decades.
Right, much like the actual Bible, it would have taken centuries.
Correct.
Yes.
All right. So who'd you recognize?
I recognized Dustin Diamond.
That's right, Screech from Saved by the Bell. He is the least amount of screen time I noticed. I guess they didn't like what he was doing.
No, he's an improv guy. You know, he wanted to take it further.
He touches the limits.
That's right. I recognized Bret Michaels.
Of course, that's right. Former Celebrity Apprentice winner.
Yeah.
That's right. He was hired by Donald Trump, our Lord and President.
Oh, that's great. And in one of the worst bands in the history of the planet. I recognized Tim Matheson.
That's right. Vice President Hoynes from The West Wing.
That's right. And I did not recognize...
I felt bad for Tim Matheson, by the way. He's too good for this.
Oh, he's way too good for this. I was disappointed.
Yeah.
Because he's not on the level of like a Christopher McDonald where you're kind of like, all right, but like I can see that he's in it. Tim Matheson, no way.
He's not a fucking Screech.
No, he's not a Screech. And so Bret Michaels, Dustin Diamond, Tim Matheson. That was it. I did not recognize, but then when I thought about it, it was kind of amazing that in the blooper reel that C. Thomas Howell.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, did he look bad?
I recognized him because he's been on SEAL Team lately as one of the characters' dads.
Okay, yeah. I guess I haven't seen Thomas Howell in a very long time, so I didn't recognize him. You go ahead. Who you recognize?
Well, I see C. Thomas Howell on SEAL Team. I recognized one other person in addition to the ones we mentioned, and I didn't know which one he was, but I recognized one of them as a Brady boy.
And who is that?
One of them, Christopher Knight, is the guy. He was like, I think, the youngest Brady. Peter.
Okay. Guess who I thought that was?
Who?
You can't guess who I thought that guy looked exactly like? And I was like, what's he doing in this movie? He's successful. Maybe that's a goof.
Gary Cole?
Totally thought 100% it was Seth MacFarlane.
No. Oh, God. Poor Seth MacFarlane. Jeez.
I'm looking at it right now, man. I'm looking at it at Christopher Knight's Wikipedia page. In this movie, I totally thought it was Seth MacFarlane. And I was like, wow, why would he do this? All right, fine. Yep, convinced.
Two things about Seth MacFarlane. One negative, one positive.
Okay.
Negative. Remember that "We Saw Your Boobs" song from the Oscars?
Oh, when he hosted?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
He had
No.
a song. We saw your boobs, and it was just him singing about all the actresses whose boobs we've
Yes,
seen.
because Kate Winslet's mentioned, I
Uh
believe.
huh.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
but also a positive. I watched that new space show last night from Armando Iannucci.
Oh, the HBO one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and
I thought it was very bad
oh,
and not as good as that Seth MacFarlane space show, The Orville.
is that right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the Orville, but you've told me about it. And this one, I was kind of gonna pass anyway, but I did think about it because it was Armando Iannucci. But
You know who's in it? Fucking Josh Gad.
yeah, oh, I saw.
You gotta sit through Josh Gad on this fucking show.
No, thanks. I'm good. Yeah.
All right,
All
where
right.
are we? Where are we in this? Oh, they construct the thing. By the way, in that montage, we couldn't afford a Thomas Ian Nicholas cameo.
He was busy.
He took that book out. You know, when they showed the library card, I paused it, Henry, and it says like Jim Levinstein, Kevin Myers, Chris Ostreicher, and Steve Stiffler.
That's funny.
I mean, It's not funny, but it's something.
It's a nice touch. Yeah.
It's a touch.
It's a touch. Yeah, it's a touch.
After this, we're going to a party. It's the last party of the movie, Henry. It's at a ski resort, and they're all gonna go skiing. I hate skiing. I've never been. Fuck skiing.
I'm not a fan of skiing. The last time I skied was in 2014 down the Bunny Hill, and I wiped the fuck out and did a somersault and momentarily lost consciousness.
Oh my God! You almost got a real Sonny Bono situation on your hands.
It was great, and I was on the little tiny hill for like the kids because I knew I couldn't handle the big one, and yeah, I wiped out, lost control. Woke up, went back into the lodge. I was done for the day. It was my first and last run skiing. Great story. And then, but I will say this: this is how desperate I was in this movie. I literally had the thought when we were at the ski lodge in this movie. I was like, "Oh, haven't really had an American Pie movie with any snow. That's cool."
Yeah, that's true. These are summer movies. This is a winter American Pie
like
movie.
A location change. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
No, it is nice. It is a good change of pace.
Yeah.
So what happens? Well, first we get a cover of "Laid" by James. You know, we haven't heard that song in a couple movies since the Bandcamp one.
Sure.
Everyone wants to fuck at the ski lodge, of course.
Mm-hmm.
The girl, your girl, Melanie Papalia, she's abandoned her Christianity pact and bought a copy of the Kama Sutra, and has decided that she and Nathan could work through it all weekend. So that storyline's done.
It's great. I'm proud of my namesake. Like a true Papalia, she abandoned her religion and
and gave into sin.
She's my kind of gal. So right, there's very little made of that. Unfortunately, we are given what I figured would happen, and I didn't like Lube. I found him a sort of a Josh Gad protege.
Yeah.
And when he almost hooked up with the Victoria's Secret girlfriend at that party, I kind of thought, well, she seemed to actually like his explanation when he gave that little speech at the party about how. So I'm like, oh well, then I guess he'll end up with her though.
No, because he was lying in that speech. In that speech, he was like, "I'm a sex god and I can do anything you want." It's not until later in the movie when he falls out of the fucking ski thing. What do they call those?
Ski lift.
Ski lift, sure. Yeah. That he finally bears his soul to the fake boob one.
This dragon of a character who has been given no personality characteristic other than that she's literally evil, and then all of a sudden,
well, he sees her for who she really is. He's like, I know you're not just a fucking whore, because I remember when you sang "Hey Ya" in 2003 talent show.
That made me feel old because then I was like watching it. I was like, Jesus Christ! So this character was like in 5th grade when Hey Ya came out. My lord,
Yeah, man. You know what I did in the elementary school talent show?
what'd you do?
I performed "Brain Stew" by Green Day.
Wow, how'd that go?
Terrible.
Okay, all right. Well, you tried.
I cursed by accident.
You well, that's an early sign of what you later became.
Yeah. Stifler gets a real comeuppance at the log cabin. There's this one girl who he like fucked at one point, and he took her virginity, and she needs to get her revenge on him. And so she locks him out of the cabin in his underpants, and everyone's laughing and having a real fun time. And then a moose comes. It's a CGI moose.
Uh-huh.
I have to here say, of course, that this moose looks no better than the bear in The Revenant. No better or worse.
You are so full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Then the moose, of course, we have to be. It's one thing in these movies to like hate a villain, but to get
He gets okay.
raped by a moose. I mean, it's like I don't. And then the girl herself, I kept waiting. I thought it was going to take like a real dark turn, and I thought.
Well, that's what it should have been. Like the moose was chasing Stiffler around, and everyone should have been like, "Ha ha, fucking Stiffler! Look at this dude!" And then the moose gets up on its hind legs, like unleashes his hard dong and starts raping Stiffler, and everyone's still laughing. I would think the entire scene would turn into panic. Like, I never meant for this to happen.
Related with, I could have dealt with the moose scene if what he had done to the girl was like he
But
raped
if he
her
did anything,
or
no, but then that wouldn't belong in this movie.
But I thought that's what she was going to say. Like, you made me do this awful thing where I had to terminate a pregnancy or something. And then you're kind of like, to Stiffler, you'd be like, fuck you, dude. You're getting raped by a moose. But then it's like, you didn't call me back.
Yeah, you didn't call me back after you fucked me.
And I'm like, and no, that's it. Okay, all right, she's a dick, but Jesus Christ.
I mean, seriously. Like, to be raped by a moose, Henry, I mean, he would have had to, like, go back in time, rape her mother, impregnate her with her, and then kick her in the stomach, killing her and preventing her existence.
Then I'm for the moose.
You're for the moose, yeah.
I'm all for the moose in that situation, yeah.
All right, so everybody gets laid. There's a virginity montage. Everyone's losing their virginities.
Yeah,
Lube is fucking that babe. And how about the song that was playing on the soundtrack?
Was it the one that we get to know throughout? Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was "Say Yes" by Elliott Smith.
Oh my God! Really? I didn't recognize it. Really?
It was an Elliott Smith song. I mean, I'm watching American Pie Presents The Book of Love, and then I have to think about this guy I loved killing himself.
Was it Elliott Smith's version?
It was Elliott Smith.
Boy, I didn't recognize his voice. That's terrible.
It's "Say Yes." It was like a big song. It was in Good Will Hunting too.
It was?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm in love with the world through the eyes of a girl who's still around the morning after. That song.
Oh, wow. See, these movies just had me so disconnected and so disassociated with the music throughout all 8 that I just didn't even pay attention. Wow, that's sad. I'm sorry they did that to him.
It's a fucking bummer. So whatever. That's how the movie ends. There's a British girl. We didn't even talk about her, but she's fine.
She's all right. She's like the female Stiffler, so they end up together.
She's sort of like the Natasha Lyonne of this movie.
Well, yeah, but she's like a sex pot.
Yeah, but she's just around to like tell the girls like, I don't think you should be fucking around with that shit.
Right. But then she gets with the Stiffmeister.
But I don't think they hook up.
Oh, I
She's
don't
just like
know.
leaning on him, and he's sitting on a rubber, tube because his anus hurts from having been raped by a moose.
By the way, I don't think he'd be alive. I think he'd be dead. Yeah.
I don't think I think he'd be traumatized.
Well, no, but I mean, I think
Like
he
I
would.
would never get over being raped by a moose.
No, you wouldn't. And it's the next day. He's fine. He's shitting all right. Nothing was done to his bowels. The 12-foot moose cock that went up into his throat didn't hurt him at all.
Could have gone through the top of his fucking skull, this shrimp.
Species style.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
At a little, at the very end, the little brother gets his comeuppance.
oh right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
He's
catches
he's
him
a
sticking his
vacuum
dick
cleaner.
into a vacuum cleaner, right? And then there's picture credits and bloopies and some alternate lines, and that's it.
Then I hit stop, exit.
Yeah, what do you give this movie?
Star.
You said one?
1 star. Yes, please.
Yeah, same. This was a really bad one. I mean, this was a really bad one.
It's worst. It's not the worst on my ranks. I'll tell you that.
This is my worst.
Is it?
I felt dispirited by this one.
Okay. See, I felt that way about some other ones. At this point, I guess the fatigue had turned into complacency.
But for me also watching American Reunion the next day and being reminded what like a professional movie looks like.
I get it.
Yeah, that probably didn't help.
All right. Who's your MVP?
Oh, good heavens. I'm going to go with that British girl.
That's a good call. I like that.
She was
Yeah.
fine.
I'd actually like to steal that and replace.
Louisa Lytton is the actress, by the way, just to give her some cred. And she plays a
Yeah.
character named Imogen. She's been on EastEnders for many years in England.
Yes. She has an actual career.
Mhm.
We've talked about this before. I thought that for most of the blandness, I actually thought Beth Beers had a little bit of
She's got some spunk.
a little bit
Ugh.
of it. I know.
She's got
See,
some spark.
real funny because literally a millisecond before you said that, I was going to say she has some spunk, and my brain stopped me from saying that word, but you took care of it for me. My LVP is Lube. I got tired of looking at his stupid fucking face and that dumb eyebrow arch raise that he does all the time
Yeah.
in the movie.
Did you
Sick
lose
of it.
me again?
Uh,
I'm gonna go with the Stiffler kid.
Totally fair. Totally fair.
No, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm going with Nathan, the boring friend. Fuck that
nobody-
kid.
Melanie Papalia's boyfriend.
You can't give him like one character trait because there's like Bug Hall's the main guy, and then they've got their fat dreamer friend. Like, make this kid make him black.
Whoa. We're an American Pie, Dan.
Just have him be a black guy. You don't even have to give him a personality. In American Pie Presents the Book of Love, it would be enough to just have him be the black friend.
I think American Pie has Jim Crow laws they have to enforce. So
There
you
really
gave it one.
aren't any black people in these
We get
movies.
one in the next one.
Who?
We'll talk about it.
There's a black guy in the next one?
Black guy who has one line on a beach drinking a beer. Yeah. Pan and scan. It's a pan and scan.
Oh,
You
is
see a black
he the guy that was like, they bailed, dude,
Yeah.
when Stifler's on the phone?
No. Maybe. Is that another black guy?
No, man, he might be white.
Oh, this is on the beach. We won't talk about it, so I'll say it now. It's on the beach when Stifler shits in the cooler.
Oh,
Those
that's
three
right. There is a black guy in that
Black
scene.
guy.
You're right.
All right, I got a small superhero count for y'all.
That made me laugh, by the way.
Me too.
Stifler shitting in the cooler.
Okay. Yeah, there were several scenes in the next one that made me laugh.
All
Yeah.
right, well, we'll get to it.
All righty then. Melanie Papalia was in Smallville
Of
playing
course she was.
Brianna Withridge.
Great. Who's next?
Sherman Hemsley.
Oh, God.
George Jefferson himself. That's right. He played Robert in the 1979 Season 2, Episode 18, No Escape of The Incredible Hulk.
All right.
He also played Winslow P. Schott, a.k.a. Toyman,
Oh,
in Lois and Clark.
great. Of course. That checks out.
Oh, all right. Curtis Armstrong, who we covered before, played Albie Swenson, also in Lois and Clark. And that is it.
Okay, well, I would like to shame you. Remember when I was like, I thought your superhero counts for the last two felt a little light to me? And I said I was going to get Josh Lemur to do this for me? Well, thank you. Thank you to Josh. Now, Josh would like to say he does not... All right, I asked him to do this. He doesn't want to shame you. Okay, but
No,
I do.
He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy, yeah.
Okay, I do.
So
I
it
want
makes-
to shame you.
I get it, yeah.
Okay, so on The Naked Mile, Dan Petronijevic, who played Bull, had an uncredited role in the Suicide Squad movie. Jessica Booker, who played Grandmother, appeared in an episode of the 2001 Witchblade TV series.
What's Witchblade?
That's a Top Cow / Image superhero.
Doesn't count.
Jesse Schramm, who played Tracy in one episode of Lucifer.
All right. I'm going to give you that because I have a Lucifer count this week, and I think when I did
That's
that last
DC.
time, I didn't know that when I did that and saw that. So, fine. Good call.
Bill Turnbull, beer guy, and AJ Fry, drinking contestant, each appeared in episodes of The Boys.
Don't do all the fucking extras, Lemur. He's on IMDb, that's why, because he's going through everybody.
Oh, yeah? Well, Melanie Murkowski, who played Allison, appeared on one of these Crisis on Infinite Earths things.
All right.
Joe Bostic, who played Mr. Williams, was on Heroes Reborn.
Okay. All right.
All right. Now on to Beta House. Chris Violette, frat guy number 1, was in an episode of Supergirl as Domingo.
Okay, and I didn't catch that, huh?
That's right. Jessica Barrow, who played Busty Stripper, was also on Mutant X.
And I didn't say that either?
That's right. And Veronica London, who played Beauty Contestant, was on Lucifer and is upcoming on Legends of Tomorrow.
All right. So I have 3 things to say. 1, Lemur, you're a beast. I love it. I mean that in a positive way. You're a beast. You go all out. 2, the reason I don't do IMDb is precisely because it names every fucking cast member an extra, and this already takes me a long time. And C, someday, Lemur, someday, there's going to be a superhero count passing of the torch, and you might be anointed.
Maybe there'll be a co-host passing of the torch as well.
Oh, Lemur. Be careful what you wish for, Lemur.
All right, can we talk about American Reunion?
Yes.
All right, we're
absolutely.
finally bringing the old gang back. Ooh. All right, John Hurwitz and Hayden Schlossberg. They are our new directors and writers, Henry. Were you familiar with these two?
No, I was not. I looked them up, but I wasn't.
I know these fellas because I was a fan of that first Harold and Kumar movie, and they wrote it.
Oh, yeah, I never saw that.
You never saw those movies?
No, I never had an interest, to be honest. I know a lot of my friends did kind of like them, but I never knew if I'd find them funny, so I never even bothered giving them a chance.
I feel like you'd like the first one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And I never really heard you, or my other friends, but I'll focus on you. I never really heard you ever talking about it or saying, oh, it's a really funny comedy. I never heard a word.
Because it's very of its time. It's like American Pie or Dude, Where's My Car or something. But, it's a little smarter than most. And good performances by Cho and Penn.
All right.
Yeah. And NPH, Neil Patrick Harris, who also cameos in this.
And John Cho.
And John Cho, that's right. As MILF Guy number 2. I love that they
Dude.
still refer to him as MILF Guy number 2.
Dude, this is post Star Trek for John Cho. I'm gonna. Can I spoil something right now? Can I?
Is
just
he the
spoil
MVP?
something? John Cho is my MVP, man.
I can't argue with that. I thought John Cho was great in this movie.
It was like the culmination of everything he's done. Yeah, culmination of everything he's done as the MILF guy, and they just gave him a little more to do. He's got that stupid mustache.
Yes.
I wanted to give my MVP to Stiff, but I couldn't because John Cho got me first in this. He's just fucking great.
The scene where Cho catches Jim in the car with that girl, he is so funny in that scene.
Oh my God.
And the fact that they gave him a tiny little story arc where he and the other MILF guy had a falling out.
It's great.
And then they come together at the end of this film as Stiffler is fucking Finch's mom to chant MILF. And it starts out almost like they're having a conversation just using the word MILF. And it just their inflections are telling a story.
It's fantastic. It's like a dude conversation. Dude.
Right.
Dude.
Or that scene in The Wire where Dominic West and Bunk only say fuck.
Yes, right.
That's right. I just compared American Reunion to The Wire.
That's right. What season is that in The Wire? Is that season 1?
Yeah.
Thank you.
This movie came out April 6th, 2012. Oh, by the way, Hurwitz and Schlossberg, the other shit they've done, they haven't done that much. Just the Harold and Kumar movies, this. And now they're working on that Cobra Kai show on YouTube.
Sure.
Which is supposed to be good, but I have not watched.
I've heard things.
Great. Okay. $50 million budget, 235 box office, like I said. It came in at number 57 at the American box office with 57 million domestic. Made a little bit less than a 3D re-release of Titanic.
Okay. All right.
And a little bit more than the animated movie Paranorman.
Paranorman. I remember Paranorman, sure.
It's like Paranormal, but his name is Norman.
Paranormal. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Got it.
Nominated for 3 Teen Choice Awards.
Oh, fuck.
Let's hear that Teen Choice theme.
I
can't believe they're still nominating these movies for Teen Choice Awards.
Yeah, because they're not really even about teenagers anymore, right?
No, they're fucking old in this.
They're old, man. All right, here we go. I found it, and
nobody aged badly though. I was pretty impressed. Everyone looked
pretty
good.
They look good.
Thomas Ian Nicholas's beard is not great, but everything else is good.
Yeah, I don't need it.
Choice. Okay.
I hit a lot of interesting notes there. That's what I like about that. It kind of has like a screechy feel, and it gets into the basso.
Yeah, I like that we get a director's commentary after all of your themes.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what the people want.
Sure.
I feel Lemur creeping up behind me. I got to stay strong on this hosting gig.
Okay.
And I want to thank Josh Merlis for that theme.
And I want to thank Josh Merlis for making it possible for me to put that 101 Best Movies Patreon episode up.
Oh yeah, I caught a little of that. Your little debacle.
Some editing issues that Josh was able to step in and help us out with.
That's really amazing. Thanks, Josh. Jesus Christ,
the Joshes really tearing it up this week on the franchise.
They really are.
Yeah.
And we ain't joshing you.
Great one. Okay, so this was nominated for Best Comedy Movie at the Teen Choice Awards, but it lost to 21 Jump Street. Fair enough.
Fair point.
Jason Biggs nominated for Best Comedy Actor.
Okay. All
and
right.
He lost to Channing Tatum for 21 Jump Street.
Good. I'm glad.
Allison Hannigan nominated for Best Comedy Actress. And She lost to Emma Stone for Crazy Stupid Love.
I kind of liked Crazy Stupid Love. I got to tell
Oh,
you.
yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
you wouldn't think so, right?
You
I
got to
liked it.
watch that movie Life Itself on Amazon Prime.
I saw that up there.
Henry, please watch that.
I don't. It didn't look like it was.
Henry, that's a must-see.
Oh no. Yeah, it looked like a toughie.
Henry,
All right.
it is
All right.
important that you watch that.
All right. All right. All right. All right.
Okay? It's a real classic. That and Serenity with Matthew McConaughey are the best bad movies in recent memory.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, because we're way past Queen of the Damned years. So
No,
okay.
I mean like literally in the last year or so.
Serenity. All right.
Mm-hmm. But check out Life Itself. Okay. Oh, I have here figures on how much money everybody made to come back on this movie.
Ooh, nice pull. All right, I'm curious.
Okay. Jason Biggs and Sean William Scott made out like bandits, Henry.
That makes sense because all right, so Scott, this is post role models, right?
It is, but I don't know why Biggs is getting this treatment.
Yeah, he had been in Woody Allen. He had been in Woody Allen.
I mean, he had like a little run there, but like that had ended by this point, like 6 or 7 years ago.
Okay.
And it wasn't until 2013 that Orange is the New Black came up.
I thought about that. Okay, hit me.
They both made $5 million plus a percentage of the profits, and they both got executive producer credits.
Did see that on the screen.
I was blown away when I saw that.
It's hilarious when I saw that. I was like, boy, they really wanted this to happen.
Yeah. All right, so $5 million for them. Next tier, Allison Hannigan and Eugene Levy made $3 million.
So that's $6 million. So it's a $50 million budget. 16 mil already gone.
Great point. Yeah.
Right. So $34 million film now.
Okay, now everybody else in the entire cast got between $500,000 and $700,000.
Jeez.
Except poor Tara Reid.
Oh no. She got How is that?
She said yes for a mere $250,000.
Whoa. Now that feels weird because look, she's not one of my favorite characters in this franchise, and I don't think she's a very good actress, but she is certainly the most well-known, at least going into the first one, and a person, right? I mean, Tara fucking Reid got the least amount of money. She got less money than Finch.
Yeah, and like Mina Suvari and Thomas Ian Nicholas.
Yeah. I mean, Mina Suvari, Chris Klein, I get it. Thomas Ian Nicholas and Finch. Come on now.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That is weird, man.
Was she quite troubled at this era?
She was pretty troubled, and this is pre-Sharknado. Sharknado made her a little bit of a name again.
Well, that's good. Seems like a nice person.
She seems like I feel like she seems like an asshole. She is such a bad actress, Henry. Like, she doesn't do anything naturally. There's one scene in this movie where, like, Kevin wakes up in bed next to her, and he's like, did we sleep together or not, or whatever, and she's still sleeping. And there's, like, a tight close-up on her face, and she's got, like, her eyes, like, pinched tight. I have never once in my life seen someone fake sleeping in a movie and thought, like, oh, they're not really sleeping.
Yes. I had the same thought. I was like, because my first thought was, boy, her makeup is perfect for having such a rough night. And then I also thought, like, she just doesn't look like a person who's asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Action. Yeah.
All right. So
sound effects.
So the movie starts. It already doesn't hold up because it opens on an R. Kelly song.
Yeah, that was rough.
That's unfortunate.
That was unfortunate. I wish they could retcon that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you want a Lucas cut of American Reunion?
A little 9/11 going on there. Maybe take out the towers.
Get John Williams to add some score. So it's Jason Biggs and Allison Hannigan. They've got a baby. Kind of a baby. How old's this kid? Like 3?
They say he's 2, but he's a big 2.
Also in Bandcamp, which came out 7 years ago, they said that Allison Hannigan was pregnant. So I guess we're ignoring the continuity of those movies.
Maybe she had a miscarriage a few times, and this is her first kid.
But
Yeah.
I also think that, we've been really hating on Eugene Levy. And to me, it felt like, oh, this is that character he played in the first 3 movies.
You bring up a key point, but let me tell you something. And this is why we do the show. I couldn't get him out of my head from the ones in the middle.
I was able to. To me, it was like he was a fucking pod person in those 4 movies, and now like he somehow like America had defeated the pod people. It was definitely America because we have the world's greatest military, and he has been let loose, and I think that's how Jim's mom died. I think she was a pod person too. And it turned out that was the queen pod person, and that was a sacrifice that had to be made to save the human race.
That's a great theory right there. It's great fan fiction. I like that a lot. I, on the other hand...
How weird was it that they killed off Jim's mom?
Well, I just thought, I mean, we couldn't get fucking, what's her name? Molly something? We couldn't
Molly
get her...
Cheek. But we did get her back because there's that video of Jim's bar mitzvah, and she's in that.
That was filmed like on the set of,
No, it wasn't.
Tommy Knockers 3 or something in Vancouver.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, she's filming Canadian.
Eugene Levy was like, sure, I'll go up there. I live in Canada.
Yeah, I couldn't get...
We're shooting season 8 of my son's brilliant show, Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I couldn't get the Levy continuity out of my head, so he was done. He was ruined. Sorry.
All right, I'm sorry to hear that because I enjoyed him in this film. First of all, we'll get into like the actual story of the movie, but how did it take to movie 8 in this franchise to put Eugene Levy and Jennifer Coolidge in the same scene together?
That's a good point because once it happens, it's quite satisfying.
They're delightful together.
They are delightful. She's a little less of not until the last scene doesn't count, but she's a little less of like a sex pot and gets actually to have like some non-sexual dialogue.
Right. She has like she talks to him like he's like her son's friend's dad.
Hey,
rather than just like someone to fuck.
Right.
Which is how she talked to everybody else in the entire franchise.
Which is fine. That was her character, but this was nice to see this other little dimension. Yeah.
Ooh, a second dimension for Stiffler's mom. Okay, so Allison Hannigan goes to the bathroom to take a bath, and Jason Biggs takes this opportunity to jerk off. He pours lube into a sock. What a weird technique.
Well, that was his technique in the first movie.
I've never used lube to masturbate. I've never once used it.
These guys are making masturbation into this like 10th level of a video game type of thing.
Everyone needs fucking accessories and add-ons.
Just do it.
Just touch your goddamn dick until it spritzes some white shit.
He's got to get the lubricant. He's got to get the sock. He's got to get the laptop in the right position. He's got to make sure he's got the mirror watching the door. And yet doesn't lock the bedroom door so his son can just waltz in.
Right, and then he closes the laptop on his dick. But I wasn't that into this opening scene, but then I felt like it was a really good move for him to then walk into the bathroom and find Allison Hannigan masturbating in there.
I already knew that's what she was going to do.
I didn't. I thought that was clever.
I could see it coming. No pun intended. Because I just felt like we already know she's like a very sexual person, and so I figured when she went in the bathroom, she was probably doing the same thing he was. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I had a little insight. Yeah,
you could really anticipate the Levenstein marriage.
I feel like I could be their counselor.
Yeah. Oh, you should be. They could use it. So we meet our other guys. Chris Klein, he's tan and ripped, and his bad hair.
His hair.
You liked his hair?
It reminds me a little bit of my hair when I had more of it. I kind of had a similar look, so it's kind of like, that's right. It's a little Henry hair going on there. It wasn't like the usual kind of pasty down. It wasn't.
I
short.
preferred that.
It wasn't this thing going on with the brow. I liked it. It's fine. It actually looked like a wig, though. It didn't look real. It was weird.
Maybe it was. Who the fuck knows? I mean, he looks like he's pasted together with spare parts at this point.
It is true. Yeah, he looked like an old B-52.
But he's like not with Savari anymore. That's the big news. He's a sports reporter or a pundit on like an ESPN-like station. His co-host was Chad Ochocinco in a cameo, and
that was weird too, though, because they don't know the tone to take with the type of sportscaster he is. Because at first it seems like he's one of those cool guys, but then they flip to Chad, and then he looks like he's the fucking idiot.
No. He's like he's one of these guys that thinks he's cool, but in actuality he's a fucking punchline, like Rob Gronkowski.
No, okay, all right, but yeah, I guess it was weird though
because they also have him on Dancing with the Stars.
Correct, which then confirmed it. But in that first opening sequence, I was just like, well, what is he supposed to be? Is he the Terry Bradshaw of the fucking thing?
I think what we're supposed to think is he's just sort of sold out.
All right. Yeah, well, yes. Becomes evident when we see the house and the girlfriend.
The girlfriend is this it's the hot girl assistant from 30 Rock.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not my type. I didn't think she was hot. Just saying.
Well, she's generic looking, but she's like one of
she weighs like 40 pounds.
Yeah, but you know what? I like her in 30 Rock. I think she's one of the few like generic hot girls who can kind of pull off comedy.
Okay.
Not to like speak too highly of her, Katrina Bowden, but like, she's all right.
And she's in a hot tub. Wouldn't be an American Pie movie if we didn't get a gay joke.
I thought this guy was funny though.
Yeah, we got a couple of them. We got a couple of gay jokes.
When he flexed his butt muscles in the kitchen, that made me laugh.
It would.
All right, so we meet the other guys, Thomas Ian Nicholas. He's married. He has sort of like a very normal suburban existence.
Another part that was strange to me, though, I gotta say, I'm not trying to pick on it right away, but a little bit nebulous, right? Because I don't know if you felt
that's Kevin. He's always underdeveloped.
Well, that's very true. I guess that's a good point because I felt like the setup was that nobody's really that happy,
right?
But then we kind of realize Kevin. There's really nothing wrong with his marriage.
No. Kevin comes...
But his wife seems annoying at first because she's making him watch all these shitty shows.
No, but I think Kevin enjoys watching the shows.
But he says that whole thing like, I gotta get out of here and all that kind of shit.
He just needs a break. It's dumb.
Yeah,
whatever.
He needs a guy's night. You know?
He's married to Wendy the waitress from How I Met Your Mother. And...
they didn't give her enough. I liked her. They didn't give her enough.
Agreed. She acted like a person, though. You gotta give it that.
No, I wasn't being sarcastic. You thought I was being sarcastic.
No, I didn't. I'm saying, like, I'm just relieved that in this movie, like, the female characters are talking like normal people.
Right. Yeah, true. Good point.
We see Finch. He is a world traveler, but then at the end it turns out that he was lying about that, and he's actually an assistant manager of a Staples in Bayonne, New Jersey, which that line made me laugh. And I will report, Henry, that in the subtitles they finally got shit break right. I
watched it with subtitles too, and you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, they did. I noticed it right away.
So they're all back in town for the high school graduation, or the high school reunion, which is being run by John Cho, and it is like the 13-year whatever, and they all meet up at a bar, and of course they run into Stiffler, who they didn't invite. And Stiffler we meet in an office setting, and we're led to believe that he's the boss. But then it turns out,
scene.
Yeah, me too. It turns out that he's just a temp and has like a shit job and kind of a sad life. And
Which makes sense, actually, because someone like him, even with his money that he has, filthy rich, he is a fuck up. So it makes sense he would be a temp.
yeah, he's a dumb shit.
Yeah, so it makes sense. And I guess you probably know, he looked like one of those actors you'd probably know. Who's his boss now? Is this guy?
What, you think I know that he played Jeff, who worked with Chuck on the show Chuck?
So I was correct. Yes.
You think I know off the top of my head that the actor's name is Vic Sahay?
I know you better than you know yourself. See, I knew it. As soon as he came on screen, I was like, all right, this guy has good comedic timing. He's very funny, and I don't know him. I'm sure Dan's got a fucking laundry list of this guy's credits. And I was right.
Yeah, he's good. All right, so, but I, it erases a little bit of the character development he went through in American Wedding, which I kind of didn't like. But then it's so much more poignant to have it now, where it's 13 years gone from high school, and he is this like peaked in high school, like sad aging bachelor. And there's something that really appealed to me about this, and I think Sean William Scott had really grown as an actor in like the 10 years since the last movie.
Yeah, I agree.
And he really adds a level to, like, whereas Thomas Ian Nicholas is given nothing and brings nothing to it, Sean William Scott is given a little and adds a lot of dimension to the performance.
Yeah, he does. He adds a lot, really, just more in certain scenes with his. Not exactly what he says, because that's not him, but how he says it, his facial expressions. He just seems dejected, kind of a sad soul, but still very funny and still like, and their explanation to him is a little piss poor, but it makes it sadder as to like why they didn't invite him and all that shit. So they bond again, and it seems like everything's all right.
At first, yeah.
Yeah.
And we meet the bartender at the bar who's going to be a love interest for Finch going forward.
Right, and we get to see a photo of her
when she was really fat and ugly in high school.
And that was like a CGI'd, weirdly,
it looked
almost
stupid,
Lucas type of conjuring.
They were clearly proud of it because it came back during the closing credits.
You're right, it did.
Because they did picture credits for everyone, and that's the picture they used for that actress.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I hope she's in your superhero account because I knew her from Heroes.
Right.
All right. What happens next, Henry? It's the next morning. Jim got blackout drunk and fell asleep on the kitchen floor, pantsless. And this is one of the best scenes in the movie.
You think so? Not for me. Go ahead, why?
This is a classic American Pie dumb set piece, and for me, Jason Biggs, I thought was very funny.
Getting better at his physical comedy, you thought?
Yeah. I liked him. So they walk in, and he's like trying to hide that he's pantsless, like leaning on the table or whatever, and that's fine. But then he grabs that pot lid and tries to hide his dick.
You just liked it because you saw his dick.
Well, the visual gag is incredible. Not only do we see his dick, Henry, the girl goes, we know that lid is see-through, right? And then the camera looks over, and it's just his dick and balls mashed against this lid. I loved it. It made me. I laughed like a surprise laugh, like a guffaw. Like
really?
Yeah. Like I was watching this at work as well.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden his dick and balls are mashed against the thing, and I went, ha!
Okay, I went, oh, that was mine.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, didn't need to say that.
Well, you're just not confident in your own sexuality. You can't look at another man's dick.
Yeah, just not Jason Biggs's. No thanks.
I look at that shit all day long. Come on.
I believe
Jason
you.
Diggs. Jason Diggs.
That's right.
Jason Biggs's dick.
Tay Diggs.
Which, by the way, he should be called Jason Medium. Is I mean, that's a funny thing to look at. Jason Biggs' dick and balls mashed against a lid.
Okay. All right. Yeah. The joke was funny. The visual took away from it for
I
me.
think the visual added, like, it was a lightly funny scene, and the visual made it hilarious. It's sort of like how in Observe and Report, that guy running naked is funny already, but then when Danny McBride shoots him, when Seth Rogen shoots him, it adds to it.
I love that movie, but I don't remember it. I think I own that movie, but I don't even remember that. No, because I thought it was funny when she said, that's a see-through. That's a joke right there, and I'm good.
Yeah, but then you got to see it.
Of course you do, because it's American Pie.
I want to see that dick.
And that's why you're a bigger fan of these films than me.
I'm not a huge fan of these.
Bigger than I am.
I really only like the first one.
All right.
What do we have now? They go to another party. It's one of Stiffler's parties, and I like this too. It's like one of those classic Stiffler parties from the first three, but now it's like everyone's kind of old and married, and it's like a cocktail party more.
Yeah,
vibe.
that was kind of funny,
and
because
it's disappointing Stiffler.
Yes, and it was funny because I really like that touch for a few reasons. First of all, it's as if Stiffler is having the party, and he tells his mom to get out of the house, and she's like, "This is my house, and it's gonna be." And when I was watching the party, it was very funny because I was like literally looking at it, and I was like, "That looks like a nice party."
Yeah,
I'd go to that party. That party,
that's a party for me.
Yeah. Whereas when the first American Pie came out, I was 21. I would have much preferred the other party.
Right.
Very much. So
we're aging with the gang.
We're aging with the gang. Well, no, I'm not that much. Sean William Scott's probably older than I am at this point.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, relatively, we're all around the same age. Yeah.
So at this party, I liked the two dudes who showed up that were like on the lacrosse team with him in high school, and now they're a gay couple. And I liked that he wasn't homophobic towards them. Like, he wasn't bummed that they were gay. He was just bummed that they were getting married.
Yeah. I thought that was funny. It worked.
Yeah,
Yep.
It was nice. Good sequence, and that leads to the Levy. Oh, Levy gets really drunk and high at the party and freaks out. Yeah, I bet you didn't like that.
I mean, you know what? I liked when Stiffler and him did shots together. I really liked that because it felt like a moment of nostalgia for these two guys to get together and actually do something like that. And then I just thought it sort of went on too long.
Yeah, it did. And the thing with this movie is there's not much structure to it. Like, they're in town for the reunion, but like there's no real plot before that happens. Like, it's just a series of them going to parties and going to the beach, and then they have the reunion at the end of the movie.
Right.
So that's one party. The other party is Kara's party, who's like the baby. Biggs babysat her when she was a kid, and now she's 18, baby, and she's got tig old bitties, and she wants to fuck Biggs.
Yeah, they get a poor actor to play her jerk boyfriend.
I thought he was pretty bad too.
Yeah, it's always the role comes up to us in horror movies repeatedly on this show. Can't we find a really good actor to play a jerk?
I love a good bully.
And see, I don't get it. Why is it so hard to find a good bully? It's not that hard. There's got to be tons of these fucking blondies in Hollywood. You could just get.
They're everywhere.
God, and
they could have gotten probably Chris Pratt at this point.
Jesus, exactly right. He would have been great, by the way. He would have been fucking great. Put Chris Pratt in every scene that guy's in, including the jet ski sequence.
Yeah.
You got yourself a
Or like Adam Brody could have done it or something.
Yeah, I never looked at him as like a bully. But,
why?
Yeah.
He's like kind of a douchebag in Ready or Not. And he's kind of a douchebag in Jennifer's Body.
Yeah, but I guess I'm thinking more of a hulky, more jockish type. I
guess Adam Brody's not really going to be menacing Stiffler.
No, I mean, Adam Brody could like play you in a movie,
Thank you, Henry.
Or you're welcome. Or me. Or a guy like us,
Guys like us, huh?
Spies like us.
All right, so they go to that party, and Biggs has to drive that girl home drunk, and she's trying to suck his dick, and they run into John Cho, and then they have to sneak her into her house that her parents are in, and they're able to do that because the mom recognizes Chris Klein from Dancing with the Stars.
I thought that this was probably the worst scene in the movie.
This was the nadir of the film, and here's the reason.
Yeah.
Think about this, Henry. How old are they supposed to be in this movie?
I mean, by the math, if you really want to be,
about
18,
30.
Yeah, 30, 31, something
Yeah.
like that. Exactly, right.
Okay. How old are the parents?
I mean, they don't even look older than 50, but let's say 55.
Okay, they're 55.
Right.
And the girl she turned 18 literally today.
So they've got to be more like 50, really. Yeah, okay, sure. So 18 today. Yeah.
Okay. If I'm Jason Biggs, this family knows me. I babysat this girl.
Right.
Why would I not just she's passed out, okay? Even if she is naked, which she is.
Yeah, right.
Just take her to the front door, drag her to the front door, ring the bell. The parents are going to be like, "Oh my God, what happened?" You're going to be like, "I was on the beach with my friends. I found your daughter passed out. I didn't know what to do, so I drove her back here."
Two things.
One, you're a hero.
Right.
And B, like, no one's mad at you.
Right. But two things. One, Jim is a fucking idiot as a character when it comes to these matters.
Like, why are they on her side? Like, why are they afraid of getting her in trouble?
But that's the other thing. Jim's an idiot, but also in this universe of American Pie, all the parents, except Eugene Levy, ironically, are also idiots. So they're not going to respond favorably to something like that. Jim's the bad guy no matter what. Think about it.
I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think it's going to go fine. Just
in our world, it would.
Just bring her to the fucking door.
Yeah, it went on forever. It was like the.
It was not funny, and I didn't understand what this girl was doing because like all the females were acting like normal people in this movie. Like,
right.
She seemed like a sex demon in this scene, and then the next time we see her, actually she's still a sex demon, but then the next time we see her, she's normal.
Yeah, and she's just kind of like.
She's like, I don't know what the hell was going on. Bad writing took over my body for a few days.
And again, and this is not a straight-to-DVD one. This is another girl. And because, it's not 1999. We are in 2012. And this poor girl gets stripped to the bare and is carried around like a sack of meat.
There's that one scene where she like reaches for something in the back seat and her ass is sticking out of her skirt with her panties on, and then Jason Biggs makes a hard left turn and her ass hits Jason Biggs in the head.
But at least she's awake in that scene. I'm talking about when she's like.
But think about the actress. Think about the actress. The directors are just like, it's two dude directors, and they're just like, all right, I'm gonna train the camera here. Stick your ass out, and what I'm gonna ask you to do is just rub Biggs's face with your ass.
And Jason, listen, if she doesn't hit it, you aim for it with your cheek.
Whatever you do, your cheek has to slap her butt.
And what's the actress's name?
Who cares?
All right. We're going to call you by your name in the movie. Kara, listen, also, when they're carrying you out and you're dead, you're going to be naked, obviously. So act as dead as you can so you look more like a naked carcass. Like a naked cock is just being flown about. All right? Good. Check the gate.
Kara, by the way, is played by an actress named Ali Coburn. I'd like to just give her any respect.
Coburn, she's listening.
So Mina Suvari's back in town, and she's got a boyfriend, Dr. Ron, played by Better Off Ted himself, Jay Harrington.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He'll always be Better Off Ted to me.
She's got a bad haircut.
She's got bangs, and I like her big forehead, so I didn't like the bangs. They were covering up the lovely forehead.
Yeah, big forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Suvari and Chris Klein are clearly still in love with each other. We are not told of the circumstances of their breakup. I think it might have had something to do with a job opportunity.
Well, yeah, he said that he went to L.A. to pursue his
Right,
sports
right,
psych
right, right.
career. Yeah. God
Um,
forbid go to L.A. Oh, then we have a marriage story situation, I guess, right?
yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, did Klein kisses Suvari in the basement of that Stiffler party?
Right.
Yeah, and there's some heat there. Did you notice, Henry, that when they kiss, we are treated to the musical cue from the sex montage of the first American Pie movie?
What's the song?
I don't know, some fucking song. I just recognized it from the movie.
No, no. 8 later, no. Maybe 4 later. We were just doing theatrical. Sure, I remember. Yep.
I enjoyed Sean Williams got punching better off Ted later on in that sequence.
That was great.
That because Chris Klein knew that he couldn't punch him, and then
Yep.
Sean William Scott comes in like you're my boy or whatever.
I love that. That was great. Drawn.
Drawn, yeah.
So that we skipped the beach sequence, which is really good.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, when
I like that whole scene.
well, yeah, no, that whole scene is good. I enjoyed Stiffler being a shark in the water.
Idiot.
They're talking about how their generation was more mature than the current generation, and then Stifler calls out from the ocean, "Vagina shark." Actually, it's Lake
God.
Michigan. I think it's like
Right.
I think it's supposed to be the same lake that we see in the second movie.
Sure. And then, they get splashed by the jet skis after the guys steal all the bras. And
Right.
then Stifler's like, no, this will not stand. This aggression will not stand. They go find them on the, little aisle.
Mm-hmm.
And then Stifler shits in their cooler. And
I think Sean William Scott is really funny doing the shitting.
It's not particularly something I ever find funny in
No,
movies.
me neither. This made me laugh. And the shot where, because they shot it so cartoony, where he reaches his hand into the cooler and comes out with shit on it. It looked like fucking Winnie the Pooh dipping his paw in honey.
And it's also funny because when he's shitting, he's drinking one of their beers.
That's right, yeah.
And then he hitches their jet skis to his truck.
And he escapes just off camera. Like, he doesn't, run away into the woods. He just walks off screen. Like he's fucking Elmer, like he's Bugs Bunny or something.
And I like when they're driving away through the wreckage. He just says something like "payback's a bitch" or something, and I don't know who says, but it's like all they did was spray us.
Yeah.
You wrecked their jet skis and shit in their cooler.
And the saddest moment in the entire movie is after all of that when they get out of the car and Stifler just goes, "I have to go find some toilet paper," and leaves.
That was great. Great.
This poor bastard.
No.
We get to the reunion finally. At this point, Hannigan and Biggs are fighting because she found out about the debacle with Kara.
Right.
And Natasha Lyonne shows up. I could have used way more of her in this movie.
And it's confirmed her character
is a lesbian.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That was an okay scene.
Yeah, it was. It was just a cameo, which really could have been.
I could have used more. Yeah, it was interesting the characters they chose to give cameos rather than actual parts. Like, I'm sure Shannon Elizabeth would have come back for the whole thing, but we just get Nadia for a second walking in on Jim and Michelle fucking, and she's with a dude who looks exactly like Jason Biggs,
which was was funny because that would have been a funny joke, but I didn't. I got it. This is me. I didn't get it because he's so short. I thought that was the joke, and then they make the joke, and I'm like, oh, okay, right. He does kind of look like, but that's not what I gathered.
No,
from it.
I got it that he was just like a wiener, like a little wiener guy.
Very, very weird. Yeah. But you're right. Shannon Elizabeth, she's not doing anything. She could have come in the movie for the whole time, but
how dare you? She came in second place on Celebrity Big Brother.
Good point.
Mhm.
But Natasha Lyonne, I'm sure she was like, I'll show up for the scene.
Although Henry, this is like before the Leonaissance. Like Natasha Lyonne had kind of gone away for a while, and then Orange Is the New Black like catapulted her.
Right. But I've always felt like she was one of those actresses that just kind of was completely confident in pursuing whatever the fuck she wanted to do. She did
I
not.
guess that's true, but she had had some drug problems and shit, and she might have still been coming back from that.
Maybe. All right.
We also get some Shermanator. We haven't seen him since Band Camp.
That was actually funny. I like that.
Very funny that he says that he named his son Furlong after Ed. And Stiffler goes, "You named your son after Eddie Furlong?"
That was very funny. I like that. We get the Terminator glance of
course,
the
visual.
Very good. Very funny.
And then Rebecca De Mornay shows up as Finch's mom, and Stifler seduces her.
That pleased me greatly.
Of course.
To see Rebecca De Mornay, that was very nice.
Now, who's she?
Who's Rebecca De Mornay?
Yeah, I gather that she's like a sexy woman who was around in like the 80s, but who is she?
You know her from Jessica Jones because she's
the mom,
Hellcat's mom, and Jessica stepmom. Yeah, but no, she was brought to fame from Risky Business. She's Tom Cruise's girlfriend Lana in Risky Business.
Oh, so she's not the stripper or the hooker.
Yeah, she's a hooker, but she's
the hooker.
Yeah, and then she was also like she was in a lot of late 80s, early 90s trash, like The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
Oh, that's not trash. That's good.
Right. Oh, right. But you know what I mean by that. And I think she was in a movie called Guilty as Sin with fucking Don Johnson and shit.
That sounds good.
Yeah. And I always remember her as for Wayne's World when Mike Myers on a sketch calls her Rebecca De Hornay.
I actually remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. I always liked her.
All right. Nice, yeah, she's around. She's in some stuff.
Yeah, she's all right now. She's Jessica Jones.
And God Created Woman. What? That show's canceled. She was in Backdraft.
Canceled doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Yeah, but she's not okay now. She doesn't have a job.
On her IMDb page. Just because it was canceled doesn't mean it didn't happen. What was she in? What did you say? And God what?
And God Created Woman. Remember that? That's like considered one of the great bad movies.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, so they fuck on the football field and the MILF guys reunite, and that's pretty much it, huh?
Yeah, that's it. I thought we'd get a little bit more of a bravura I fucked Finch's mom line, but it's kind of funny that I guess that it's just
right. That scene, they go to like dog days at the end, and they're like, we don't see enough of each other. Why don't we come back every year? I'm thinking sequels. And then they just never made any.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, yeah, but, this movie's a lark. There's not much to it, but I genuinely enjoyed revisiting these characters, and I might be overrating these movies because it was just such a joy to watch, like a competently made professional Hollywood release.
Right.
So I'm gonna go with like actors that like know their craft. I mean, except for Tara Reid. Yeah. The comic timing was good. The locations looked expensive. It was not shot in Michigan, but it looked like it maybe could have been, possibly not Canada.
Yeah, you're right. I
think this one's shot in Georgia, actually.
Tax thing.
Yeah, but whatever. I enjoyed this movie. I'm gonna give it a 3.
All right. Is this the only other American Pie you've given a 3?
Yes.
Okay. So my rankings come in here. I'm not going to say them yet, but I was going to give this movie a 2 originally, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I am also going to give it a 3.
Okay, that's nice. I'm glad.
Because I feel like it's on par with at least how much I liked American Pie, and I do like it more than some other ones. So it's getting a 3 from me.
Even though talking about like belated sequels that bring back the cast. We talked about Scream 4, and I feel like that movie, like, it brings back everybody and tries to do something new. That's not what this is. But that doesn't mean, like, there is no pleasure in revisiting these characters. Like,
No,
everyone's
it's been
having
9
a
years,
nice,
yeah.
leisurely time, and I felt like there were greater emotional stakes in this movie than we've seen since the first one.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I agree
Because
with you.
everyone's sort of having like a quarter life crisis.
Yeah, quarter.
I mean, not really quarter life. They're not going to grow up to be 120.
I
But
like that. I like quarter life. Huh? All right, I got a quick superhero count. Then we'll rank them.
okay,
Dania Ramirez.
from Heroes.
Right. Well, in superhero things, she was in X-Men: The Last Stand.
As Callisto for like 2 seconds for no reason.
Right. Callisto Flockhart. She played Scandals. She played Scandal Savage in a 2018 cartoon of Suicide Squad.
Why
Hell to
not?
Pay. And she played Red Velvet in Justice League Action.
One of my favorite cakes.
Who's Red Velvet?
She's delicious.
Yeah. You know a lot of these DC weirdos, so I didn't know.
Scandal Savage I've heard of. Red Velvet is outside of my realm.
All right. Charlene Amoya, who played a character named Ellie in this. I don't know who that is in this movie. Ellie?
Ellie? I'm looking for an Ellie here.
Well, this might help. She played Miss Pellet in The Flash.
Miss Pellet?
In this current The Flash.
Like Miss Poop? Oh, she's Wendy the waitress, so she was Kevin's wife.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's going to be in that Birds of Prey movie. Do you have that on your superhero count?
It's not counted yet out here. They're not putting it on our little filmography yet. It's not out yet.
Well, that's a major release coming out in like a week or two,
Wait,
and she's in it.
I thought you said that you knew Kevin's wife.
I do. She was in How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, all right. I didn't realize that was her name, Charlene Amoya. Okay. All right.
I only know her as Wendy the waitress.
Wendy the waitress. All right. Rebecca De Mornay, of course, in Jessica Jones as Dorothy Walker, and Penelope Decker in Lucifer.
Okay, go on.
I will go on. Vic Sahai,
Yeah, from Chuck.
Chuck, was in, he played Hero Torfin in Captain Marvel.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think I remember he showed up and I was like, hey, that guy.
Is he like in heavy makeup as an alien?
No, I think like he was recognizable.
All right. And he played Frank Patel in
I don't know.
Every time I do this, and I say, Dan's got to get
Preacher?
this. Yes.
Oh, I remember that. It was in the last season. Yeah.
There you go.
Mm.
That's it. That's all I got. We're done.
Okay, fantastic, Henry.
All right.
Love to hear that.
I'm glad that you love to hear it. Well, now, I think it's ranker time.
Yeah, I've got my rankings right here. What's the worst American Pie movie?
All right. Compared to the 101 list, I don't want to say anything is difficult anymore. The worst one for me was definitely the most unpleasant to watch and sit through it. And that was, do I have to say the whole title? Because I don't always remember.
You don't have to say American Pie Presents.
Thank you very much. Beta House.
Okay. My worst, it had an uninteresting Stiffler getting raped by a moose. I must go with Book of Love.
Fair enough. It had a ski resort. I was all right.
The ski resort pumped it up for you.
Yeah, it saved it. The second worst for me, right close to Beta House, was The Naked Mile.
Okay, my second. God, really? You liked Book of Love more than Naked Mile? I can't believe I'm arguing about this. What stupid lives we have.
I didn't like it more. It was less
Excruciating.
offensive. Yeah, less excruciating. That's less excruciating.
All right.
Correct.
Second words for me is the Beta House.
Okay. All right. Coming in at number 6, Book of Love.
Okay. Coming in at number 6 for me is Bandcamp.
Oh.
Yeah.
Little surprise-aroo there. And this will be number 5, and I suppose this counts because...
The Grand Slam.
You just wanted to play that.
Well, you know.
Touchdowns, the curling when the puck gets close to the circle. These are the heavy hitters of the franchise. Heavy hitters.
Also, you know, we don't do top 10 lists anymore, and I've gotten 50 to 600 emails complaining about that. So,
Really?
no, not one. But I figured it should be played. Number 5, Bandcamp.
Okay, number 5 for me is Naked Mile.
So it goes without saying that none of us breached the inner four sanctum of any of the DVD releases.
No, there is no DVD release that is better than any of the theatrical releases.
That's kind of a key point for this whole thing if you guys are listening and want to watch these and haven't done
By
yet.
the way, IMDb has an upcoming American Pie movie.
Yeah, I actually saw that.
I don't know what... I have no information on that, but it looks like it is all female cast, and it's called American Pie Presents Girls Rule.
I think it's DVD.
I think so, too.
Because also, if you look on your favorite site, Wikipedia, it's labeled as one of the spin-offs, not under the category of the...
Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so that'll be shitty, and we'll have to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay, what's the 4th best?
The 4th best American Pie movie to me was American Wedding.
That is also my 4th best.
Oh, our only link up so far. Okay, interesting. The 3rd best is American Pie 2.
My 3rd best is American Pie 2.
Guess we have the same top 4.
Yeah.
Number 2, American Reunion.
Correct.
And the best is the first.
Yeah, even with the Nadia shit, it's like, I think, probably by far the best.
Yeah. Wow, we have the exact same 4 rankings. That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, we just had different tastes in the straight-to-DVD pseudo-porn realm.